So the people want to talk about reparations. They dared me to start another one. So I'm starting another one. If I fall asleep, everybody free to kick me out. If I'm snoring. Let me give this link. And we're going to talk about it. Watch everybody say the link don't work. Let me tell Spice what she get mad at me. You ain't tell me.
It worked for me. Shit, Spice and another call.
I know, but I'm going to grab her. You know how to make a room? Did they invite you to a room? Or just brought you to the call?
No, it just took me to the call.
Okay. So reparations, bro. That's what everybody want to talk about. Reparations. Respiration. Deprivation.
Give me 1 second.
Aggravation. Yeah, go ahead, man. No, I'm just being stupid. Oh, everybody in here?
I think you're still waiting for a few people. So.
Where Torak at?
Peace, man, peace.
Alright, man. Peace to the brother. Carib brother. I don't understand this room shit. Why I don't like it don't just automatically make a room. It's really strange. I'm gonna put this link in the YouTube though from early. Just in case anybody wanna join the squad. So what kind of things can we talk about when it comes to reparations? Where does the conversation start? Should we get it?
Reparations.
Should we not get it? Is that where it starts? And
Yeah,
if we
like
get it, how do
reparations.
we get it?
Well, would you say a good way to start it is defining what reparations is? And um, I mean, I'm quite sure everyone knows, what it is. We're talking about a reparation fee is a fixing fee, like if we was a product, you pay the insurance fee. You know what I'm saying? So what it costs, what would be the monetary amount that it would cost to repair? Like,
Whoa.
what would be the justified amount to
Or like
repair damage?
or who would you attack? Not say attack, but who would you go for to say that is the main um cause of the damage?
Yeah.
Because I personally think the companies we should really be looking for and tracing the money trail, just like how they do to all these other criminals. They trace the money.
Is that my computer playing something?
Oh, my bad.
Nah, you know I got all these windows open. I'm like trying to organize myself. I'm like, yo, don't tell me I got some wild shit playing.
Oh, that's me in the background. I'm watching Madeline.
It's all good. So what you was saying, Tarek? What's the last part? You got a little low.
Yeah, I was saying, basically, I think we need to target the money and the companies, because when people are dealing with a criminal case and certain things like that, they look at the money trail. So I think if we're gonna get reparations, we should always look at the money trail, the companies,
Hmm.
and where these merchandise was getting distributed to and certain things.
How would you think reparations could even be given? Like, what would be the process?
Hmm, that's a good question. I think individually, because everybody's got their own case in this big um I can say like the hot like yeah, it's just like everybody's like a piece of the whole cake. So everybody has to join and give each of their experience of or their land or how can I say the time that their ancestors worked and certain things like that. Um yeah, just certain documentation and just like or what area there was, plantation and certain things of what was going on there.
It's dude running for president, Andrew Yang, talking about it's enough money in at least in America, like the US government has enough money to pay I guess whoever will be getting the money for reparations $1,000 a month. It's enough money for that. It's probably even more money for that, but they say it'll be enough money to give at least $1,000 to everybody a month.
Mm.
Yeah, I think Alvin was mentioning that one time that we spoke.
It'll be enough. Said maybe even 2,000, but but if he said with what he knows, if he was to get in there, he would implement it $1,000 a month.
That sounds nice, but really
And
and
that's
truly,
reparations. For how long?
That's that's
For a
that's his
lifetime?
approach to it. I don't know about a time limit. From my understanding, I thought it was going to be forever. I
because
guess until America can't afford it no more.
I would like to see what angle he's trying to attack it from, because that sounds like to me something what they've done with the native Indians on their reservations.
Yeah,
Say it
I'm not
again.
too sure.
Like there's this $1,000 where that man was who's running for president was talking about. It sounds like the same sort of program that is being run with the Native Americans, where they have a certain annual check that comes to through their post. So I think he's looking at it, that approach, but it's bigger than that because a lot of people lost land and certain things.
Yeah, I don't know how they would do it. I don't know if $1,000 a month would cut it, but I mean that's better than nothing. Shit.
Better than nothing.
Shit.
Yo, peace, peace to the panel. I just
Yo,
wanna
what's up,
wanna
Vino? What's
support.
up, Bliss?
Man, all good, man. I'm just out eating. I just wanna shout you out, man. Support and share this video and hit that like button.
Oh,
My battery's
definitely.
gonna die in any minute. So,
All right,
but
well, thanks for
peace to the
jumping in with us,
panel, the
man.
chat. Yeah, and have a blessed day. Yeah,
Yeah,
That's
You
blessings.
right.
too, bro.
You too.
yeah. Reefer vibes.
Word. We here, man. So, yeah, I feel like I would take reparations, bro. I'm not above them. You know what I mean? I don't feel like we don't need them. I feel like we need them. I'm just not sure how it would look. I feel like what about the people that don't get none?
So,
Mm.
Who would they
Steve,
be?
what would be? I'm sorry. Hey, RL.
Hey, how you doing, Fatima?
I'm all right. I I wanted to ask a question. Is that okay?
Go no, go ahead, go ahead.
All right. So, would there be like what people say is a guideline? Because I think that what people think in their minds is that people would misuse the money. So, like, all right, since we just is we in our own world, it's this reparation world, make believe world, right? So, if they were like, say, everybody got $14 billion, let's just say everybody, regardless of who you are, your background. No, your background does matter. Like, say, if it was given to African Americans in the in Americas, and $14 billion each one. All right. So, what is some of the rules? Like, let's just say, what is some of the rules that would have to be abided by for the money to be dispersed to them?
Right.
Who wanna take that one?
Like, I say one, since I one of the rules would be, for me, would be uh a business owning class, or um a home owning class,
Mhm.
and a budgeting um, class, something to deal with economics,
You
like
saying
a
that's a good way?
mandatory class on economics.
Oh, like all right, if we give you this amount of money, you gotta take this class and this so you don't mismanage everything.
Yeah, you gotta pass.
Yeah, it's gotta be something because everybody gonna try to feel like they could flip that, and you know what I mean. And
Yeah,
everybody's gonna hit the streets and try to get them a little pack.
it remind me of
Yeah,
Dave
but
Chappelle, when
but it's
they got their reparations, and then everybody's sprint bill got paid.
Yeah,
yeah,
man, that
but
shit gonna be
he
crazy.
Yang was saying, I know what you guys mean, so I'm just saying what he was saying. He was saying that it's no strings attached. You just get it. It's bam. So you know, in his system.
Hmm.
So
But in the
because
real world,
because
I would
really
think, yeah,
really our arguments would be we already went through what you paying us for. So how you gonna require us to do something else?
I get you. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
That's what our argument is gonna be.
Yeah, of course.
I think
But
the
also,
powerful
our
thing.
argument could be, and then mine would be, because for many years you've been under a system, so we need to repair your minds to begin your own
Yeah.
economic value.
Hmm.
I think basically, like, don't get us like wrong. Like, I think we should try, if we do get reparation of some sort, we need to invest it in the new generation. So I would say somehow or the other we need to get control of more like the educational system.
Right.
So like,
That
yeah, I feel
that'll be what
like,
we should do when we get that money.
yeah, get more involved into the educational system where you even setting
Yeah,
programs.
I feel you gotta put them through something for them to be able to get the money. I don't think every just because you black you gotta get the money. Like I don't know, like because this might be people that need double the money. Like I feel like I'm decent enough with money, so instead of having give me 1,000, the same 1,000 you giving some loser, maybe he don't get the 1,000 and I get 2,000.
Right.
No,
You're
that's
deep, man.
ODing.
No,
That's fucked up.
no.
Everybody can't just get the money, man. Everybody not gonna be responsible with the money You know what I mean? Imagine how much more arrest is probably gonna be just because
Right.
everybody think they could. You know what I mean? Like
You think so?
the streets gonna
That's
be
why I said
crazy.
something to do with economics.
Okay, I see
Go
what you
to a
mean.
class, pass this class.
Yeah, you gotta pass the class. You gotta do some more. Yeah, you gotta do some couple of things, man.
Mhm.
You gotta do some couple of things. Cause I mean, if it was up to me, and I'm black, right? So if it was up to me, and I had to dish out the reparations, I would tell mad niggas no. I'd be like, nah, bro, like you don't get nothing. Like your shit is not together. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I don't care if you show me that Harriet Tubman was your aunt or nothing. Like
Tyrant.
for real, I'm gonna be like, yo, bro, like come on. I probably had to just maybe you get a little bit, like
Yeah,
instead
but
of a
yeah, but
thousand
yeah, but
dollars a month.
yeah, but this is why he's destroyed. He needed that money, and he walked a long way, and he said no.
Say it again.
He's probably damaged. That's why he needs the reparation money, and he's walked a long way, and you turned him away.
Yeah, nah, that's his fault though. Like the only reason I would turn him away is because of whatever fuck shit he was doing. You know what I'm saying? And not
What
taking
did he
away
do?
his, I don't know. He could just he could be a multiple offender. He could be, you know what I mean? For real.
Oh God.
Everybody shouldn't deserve. I don't think everybody deserves the same shit. You know
No,
what I'm
but
saying? Like
yeah, but this is the whole point, man. Nobody deserved this whole slavery thing, and you know what I
nobody
mean?
deserves slavery.
Yeah, because like think about it, if like slavery was still viable, a lot of us would probably still be on these plantations today. So we are the descendants of this thing. So certain people can't pretend to say, "Oh, but you missed it."
So you saying just because nobody deserves slavery, that everybody that has some sort of connection to slavery should get equal reparations?
Some sort of reparation, yeah.
If it, I think if it's because of reparations in the first place, then yeah.
What you mean if it's because of reparations in the first place?
Because if reparations is only coming about because of descendants of slaves, and if you're a descendant of slaves, you should get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you're a dickhead, then why should
Yeah,
you
but
get?
I mean, it still might be things. I mean, I understand where you're coming from, and it still might be things in there to where, hey, if you a felon or if you are known
Yeah,
dude that had a grip of money and you was a crime lord with it, you can't get it. It might be something,
yeah, it
you
gotta
know.
be
I
But
something.
mean,
still, like we can't be there's no sort of money can repair all the colorism, mental
right.
issues people
Exactly.
had to
That's
deal with.
exactly why everybody shouldn't get it because it's not going to repair nothing. Actually,
But at the
even
same time, the people who were living in that day and time will have descendants like Jim Crow and all these type of things. So it's very, or look at Tuskegee and them type of places. It's very weird, man.
What would be um okay, the reparation is a fee. So what is a repairing fee? So what is it that the money would pay to fix? Like, can we name some things that the money will be
Our
paying to
economic
fix?
situation, for
nah,
one,
Neighborhoods.
for
I
one.
don't. I don't think the money would fix anything, honestly. You know what I mean? And this, I don't think the money would fix anything that we suffered from due to slavery.
Mm-hmm.
Put it like that. You know what
I
I'm
agree.
saying? So like whatever trauma was experienced, whatever fucking mental degradation, you know what I mean, that we experience, any like the money's not going to fix any of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So because it's not going to fix any of that stuff, I feel like, you know what I mean, like everybody who suffered or has a connection to slavery shouldn't get the same shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like whatever you got going on right now should determine how much of whatever is the allotted amount that you get. You know what I mean? And the more of a fuck up you are, the less you gonna get. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
but that, yeah,
But
but what I'm trying to say, the system was designed for you to fuck up.
and I think if that's don't gonna be it, then people would look at you now and say, "Well, shit, if you gonna fuck up now, then you don't deserve nothing, and we supposed to be where we are now." Like it ain't really nothing against us, then really.
Say that again. If you gonna fuck up now, what?
If that's the argument, I kind of feel like then there is really nothing against us at all. It's like,
Against us
it's up
in
to
what
you to
way?
just do it any like right now, even if you saying you can't do it or there's something oppressing you now, then I feel if it's like that, then it's like you can fix your situation now without reparations.
I mean, I always thought I was gonna have to. I never thought I was gonna get reparations and anything would get fixed in my life. I never thought that, yo, to me, reparations is an old people idea, bro. Like that's not nothing. I don't know. Maybe your family is different than mine. Like my family, they never talk about no reparations, bro.
Yeah, but
Like it's old.
how old is that idea?
I mean, it must be older than my parents because my parents never brought it up. That's not like a thing that ever was brought up in my household, bro. You know what I'm saying? So like I never thought ever once in life I would ever get reparations. You know what I'm saying? I never even thought that anybody would ever get reparations. I thought that was just some old Martin Luther King times idea or something like that.
Well,
Like, you know what
it's
I mean?
still
Like,
just an idea now.
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Well,
And
take for instance, the first time probably our people got to see reparations on a international or on a wide scale is probably what happened with the Jewish community, I think, after World War II.
Getting
So when it,
Israel
yeah, and something. So that was about what 1949.
48,
Yeah,
something like that.
so probably around these times, I think certain people were advocating for freedom and maybe liberation at the same time. And I mean, not freedom, I mean reparation at the same time.
yeah, they should have gave that shit out a long time ago. If they was gonna give it, you know what I'm saying? Like they should have just gave that shit out
See,
a
but
while
that
ago.
right, I understand that, and that's what I wanted to kind of get into too. See, that's the angle of them giving us. So a lot of people been waiting for them to give it to us for a long time, and a lot of people been taking it upon themselves to fight for it. But I think is just like you can expect them to give it to us or not. The idea is there and they haven't given it. So why would you expect them to give it? Or you can say whatever about that. But then there's people fighting for it and then they haven't gotten it yet when it's so obvious that something happened. So I think it's people don't know. And this discussion is old. So I done heard perspectives all over the place. And from what I done heard, I just feel like the people that are fighting for it, no matter how many people who are, just don't know how to fight for it.
Right, but they never knew how to fight for it. It's just something that they feel they should be given. You know what I'm saying? And that's like what's weird about it. It's like and they all old, bro. I don't think it's nobody my age or younger that's like fighting for reparations, bro. Because what the fuck does that look like? 40 acres and a mule? Like, how many motherfuckers is gonna get 40 acres, bro?
Yeah, I don't know if that's
Well,
what people are really fighting for now, but I believe that's what they said they would give. So that's their story.
what take for instance when they abolished slavery, certain royal families or like the government of certain countries paid the debt or actually bought the slaves back off of the people that owned the slaves.
So what that mean?
Well, basically, when slavery finished, the people that purchased slaves they got reparations.
The people that purchased slaves got reparation?
Yeah, so if you was a plantation owner and you had 100 slaves, they will the government of whoever would have reimbursed you money for having those slaves since slavery was abolished.
to make up for
Because
your income and things like that.
Yeah, for your misfortune or discomfort or
Yeah,
your
that's what
your
I. Yeah,
and a lot of these people because in nowadays money a slave will probably cost about near enough to 10 grand or 100 grand for one person in like in the olden day money to the equivalent to a modern day money. And some of these people owned up to 200 people. So you could imagine the money certain people were getting for people. And they probably even made a few additions and said people that they had moved in probably didn't have. So they can get reimbursed. So I think it's the companies and the people that took on basically these people's company and their debt that need to account for these things.
so you think it's the company
And
that
the
needs to
government,
and the government that needs to what?
yeah, but to reimburse the people who was in that servitude or slavery.
Bro, I don't think
Because
nothing would be good enough, bro. Like how are they
no,
gonna
but
do it?
basically, think about it in this way: if you had ancestors that was on a certain plantation now, depending on how many generations of life now that's gone on there through ancestry now, you had say probably that person worked for like 30 years. So 30 years in one could say in his adult life, he's been a sharecropper and certain things like that. So when you add up all the profit and all the work and certain things like that, this is where you can come to a reasonable sum.
Mm, I can't call it. I'm not even sure. Like, it shit is a possible thing. Like,
Yeah, because you have a time when this person was born and when they died, and these people literally worked until they died. So from the time they're born until the time these people was working of some sort, and these people had no money or they was paid literally like a fraction of something, and most of these people had to buy their freedom and all these type of things. So should the government give the people back their money who had to buy themselves out of slavery? Because remember now, I'm saying these people actually cost what some people will know today as 100 grand,
yeah, no. I
80
mean,
grand, 90 grand. Think about how these people had to save up to buy themselves out buy themselves for liberation.
yeah, and how many people probably never could afford it? Yeah,
yeah, and I don't know if anybody really expects to really be paid back, but people will be happy to get some money.
yeah. That's why I think.
I
Go
Go
ahead.
on, brother. No, go on, brother.
No, I was saying that's why I think any amount would be good. It's just, what I mean. The problem is gonna be when some knucklehead, what I mean, gets the same amount as like some really good, upstanding, tax-paying citizen.
I think one good argument is what happens when or okay, well, here we go. Before we go there, okay, one day weed wasn't legal in California, and I would have loved it, and it was a day that I never ever thought it would happen. Like I wasn't even thinking about it. It wasn't even possible. It wasn't even in my mind. Okay, then the idea came up and it's here. Okay, whatever. All right, so say uh that happened and it's here now. Okay. What would happen as far as prices in America?
Mm.
I think that's a good
Well,
argument. Like maybe your landlord might raise the rent, or just different stuff like that.
yeah, I see what you
Who
mean.
knows? Anything, even if it's a law against them raising the rent, everybody else know that you have more money, so they might just go up on their prices.
Mm.
Like, I mean,
It's
it's all
very,
things. It's all kind of things.
it's very weird. No,
What the
it's not
fuck is
a good
somebody
time.
gonna do with a mule?
Yeah,
You know what I'm
I I,
saying?
I
Like,
don't
what the
know.
fuck?
Maybe now you can get a dog because everybody ain't got farms
40 acres and a dog, my nigga.
or a cat.
You gonna have to give me 40 acres and some seeds, some plant seeds.
Yeah, but
Some
yeah, well, that's the thing. America's got land for that. Really,
land.
truly, and that's the thing. What's actually spoiled the world is racism
You think America
and
has land, what, to give every black person 40 acres?
of course,
Hell
if we're
no.
only think about it, if we're only 14% now.
Hell no. Some, some of that shit gonna be over the mountains.
I can't
All
even
that.
I can't even visualize 40 acres in my mind to really do it. So I don't
40 acres is a
Trust
lot,
me,
bro.
man. It's not that much, man. Not to say it's not that much, but it's a lot. So
That
know.
shit is a
I know
lot.
it's a lot.
40 acres is more than the average person has.
It's a lot more than I got.
Wouldn't you
Uh,
rather them give like your children like scholarships for education and shit? Wouldn't that be a better thing?
I guess if you believed in education and you wanted your kid to get a job, but as parents, I feel like we should be setting up businesses. And even if our kids don't want to work in our business, have that as an option for them, as well as, groom them to be able to set up their own business.
really and truly, education should be free in America. Really and truly, but scholarship is good. I think there should be some sort of discount for education. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think school should be like paid for like that, especially since all they doing is building robots.
No,
Okay.
but a lot of these schools were built on, even one could say, the slave. Literally everything was built on the slave trade, and this is what some of the universities are looking at now, and certain
Well,
things
this
to
is
do.
what I was. That's why I mentioned it, Torah, because I've heard along the lines that obviously most of the universities in America was built by the slaves.
And in
So
England.
in my head, it would make sense to give scholarships or free education so they could learn business studies and learn finance and do you know what I'm saying?
But they not
Well,
teaching that. They teaching you how to fucking be an employee.
yeah, that's what I say. You have to have that focus and put your kid in that direction. So if they went to school, that's what they studied.
Right.
Because if they just got a scholarship and was willy nilly up in there just to get them in college, that ain't gonna do no good.
Listen, if to me, if they not going to school to be a doctor, a dentist, something crazy along them lines,
Learn the law.
they don't need no school.
Hey, check it out though. If say if we were just to get $1,000 a month, right? Just go with that, $1,000 a month, and we talking about kids. If right now you're not worried about the thousand, like okay, whatever, 1,000, we'll never be able to be paid back. Just 1,000, okay, we'll take that 1,000 and don't spend it. All right, so
Yeah,
save that 1,000 for 18 years raising that kid, and you're gonna have $216,000. That's just with one kid, 18 years, but 216,000. That's gonna take a kid to school.
Yeah,
you know,
that's a lot of fucking money, man. But they not gonna save that money.
Hey, but
Oh,
that's their
okay.
fault, and that's what we in. That's why. That's kind of on the other conversation. People too
That,
comfortable. Like tomorrow is promised, but if you wasn't so comfortable, you'll move.
no, they need to at least give us like 1,000 a week, 2,000 a week. No, it's not a joke.
Damn.
Yeah, think about it, because that's not enough money
No,
for a
I mean
state.
it's all good if you. I mean, I could ask for price too, but I'm just like, damn, 1,000 a week.
That
Ooh.
ain't much.
Hey, as long as if the way they print money is true, then it ain't that much.
Think about it. That's the work your parents and ancestors had to do, mate. And these are the times of robots. Our ancestors were robots for these people.
Right, and now we're about to be eliminated. So
No, it's time for our vacation. God damn it!
you know, sitting there after all that, ain't get nothing for it, and then get wiped out and don't have nothing for it.
Hmm. And what's it? Doing things on purpose, like making people's towns and not prosperous and things like that. Shutting down our shops and all these type of things. The racial codes and all these things tarnish our business and everything.
Oh no, man. I think that shit is like not a real. It just don't sound real to me. It sounds like a.
1,000 a week
It
ain't nothing,
sound
is
like
it?
an old Negro spiritual, bro. That shit sound like an old Negro miracle.
Trust me, 1,000 a week is mild.
1,000 a week, 1,000 a month. I thought it was.
Think about it.
No, that's it. That's what he's saying. We deserve at least 1,000 a week.
think about it. These people are
Ooh,
selling
we
weed
though,
now.
bro.
The
The
government's selling
descendants
your
of
weed
slaves.
now. You don't even think about it. You don't even have a job now. Before the black man and these people were the reefer men, stigmatized for reefer. Now the government's selling your reefer now. What is left for you to do? They better pay you 1,000 a week.
They better pay you 1,000 a week too, right?
Ah, shoot.
What? What?
Think
You
about
don't
it.
want it?
Think about it. These people are selling weed now. They can afford to pay you 1,000 a week.
You or us?
The American folks, the
Not you
black
though.
Americans.
You black American.
No, I want Caribbean. I've got to do my thing different. You're dealing with the American government and certain things, and they said they're gonna pay you all 1,000 a week. I mean a month. You should say a week.
Yeah, shit, a day. Fuck.
You should do
But I
really,
mean,
but
they can't give everybody that. I can't
yes, they
even
can.
say how much more I deserve that than
Did
somebody
you
else.
not hear
That's
what I said, fam? These people are selling weed now.
bro.
Are you
I
joking?
never sold weed, bro. So they
The
not cutting off
government, the government is selling weed now.
them niggas that used to sell weed should have went to school. I went to school, so them niggas
No,
selling the
he's
cut.
saying no. His angle is that they got more money to give you. That's his angle
But
because they selling weed now. Look at
yeah, but they been selling weed. They selling weed now. Is just on top of the table. That's all. They was making more money when the shit was under the table.
Were they?
I would assume so. You know what I mean? It's a lot more slick shit.
Or was your average reefer man getting most of the profit?
yeah, we was getting
Nah,
more money. We was getting more money than we are now.
Think
yeah,
about
the
it
average
now.
reefer
Think
man
about
was
it
getting.
now.
If the reefer,
Most of your local reefer man now, they even got the good bud no more. The good bud, the government is selling it in their own store now. You have to grow your own, and when you grow your own, you only can grow it once because it's a hybrid plant. So they got money for you.
I mean, I don't think they got more now than ever before. I feel like if
Think
anything,
about it. They got the reefer for you to smoke. They got marijuana this. They got marijuana butter. They got bongs. They've got the works. They can pay you 1,000 a week.
yeah, I mean they could. I just don't
Think
think
about
they.
it.
You think they can
Think of,
pay every single Black American $1,000? Like me, my sister, my, you know what I mean? Like
It's
everybody, my mom,
all
my dad, everybody,
adults. Yeah, adults.
adults 18 and up.
Yep.
no, man. You're getting your thing, man. From the time you're born, you're getting your thing. You're getting your thing. You're the
That's crazy.
descendant, man. There's not no. Oh, you have to wait till you're 13. The day you land, you getting that. They do
That's
that in other countries. This is why you have to look at other countries' social infrastructure. Take for
but
instance
bro,
Saudi
is that
Arabia.
is that what you would do if you was in charge? Is that what you would do? And that's how you would do it. Every Negro that's born, as soon as you born, you got some sort of motherfucking account where the
Brother,
government, where your government is able to put in $1,000 a month or
brother,
more.
brother. What I'm trying to show you is this thing is not unseen or unheard of. This social type of structure is done in other countries like Saudi Arabia, Qatar, where the actual citizens they get treated to have different rights and sort of benefits as citizens. So, as a citizen of being a descent of a slave who actually built this country for 400 years, why should you have to wait to a certain age for you to get that benefit? The minute you dropped, you was counted as a slave. The minute you could walk, they would have made you try to do something as a job. So we're playing fair.
No, man.
We playing fair. They're selling reefer now. Okay,
You mad about them selling reefer, huh?
okay.
You mad as shit. This shit
think
is
about think
expensive,
think about how many
man.
of our descendants. Do you know how many people should even be suing them because of how many of our descendants were selling reefer and get locked up for selling reefer
Took down for so long.
for how many long years? They better pay that 1,000 man nicely and you know what
That
I mean
shit's not
without
gonna
no
happen, bro.
shouldn't be no hard feelings, man. Pay that money, man.
I hope it do, but I doubt that that shit'll ever happen.
Yo, what's good, y'all?
What up,
Peace.
Todd?
What's up, boy?
Hey, shit.
Just getting up
Yeah.
early Monday morning.
Yeah. What's the play?
And
Reparations?
yeah. We talking about we talking about reparations, man. And how you think? Do you think we should get them, or should everybody get them? And how you think it should be dispersed?
I think, yeah, I think everybody descendant of somebody black in America at a certain time, between certain time periods, should get it. I think certain people from certain time periods probably should get a higher percentage. Um, it could be, it could be monetary because the money is there, but that might throw unbalance. You know what I'm saying? That might unbalance the country though. So you can't really do that. It wouldn't be advantageous for them to give up that money because then it would flip the tables too quick and give everybody a headache. You know what I mean? So I think the best bet, if it was up to me, if I had to sit at the commission, just give us, just give us Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and that whole southern East Coast and shit, or at least three of them states. Give me Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, or Florida, Georgia, Louisiana, or Alabama. Definitely Florida. We need that.
Jeez.
That's dope.
Yeah, I like that sound of that.
You know what I mean? Those are the producing states. I mean, I would even take out West. But I feel like we take out West. Our West got its own thing going.
So wait, you thinking that they gonna give you the whole land? What
I'm
you
saying,
saying,
but
son?
He
I said that's what I think that's what we should get though,
he
because
said he said he was sitting at the table too. Let me add that.
yeah, if I was sitting at the table and it was up there, and I had to give my 2 cents to the system, I would say that because my thing is, you could give money. They're not gonna give money like that. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna just take out a bunch of money and put liquid cash in people's accounts. It would make sense. You know, it sounds good. I would love it. You know what I'm saying? They should. They got it. They made it. All that. But if we get the land, now we control something, man. We got 4 whole states. You know what I'm saying? Ain't a lot of us. There's only 28 million people, maybe 32 nowadays. But I could be way off, but last time I checked, it wasn't that fucking many people. You know what I'm saying? So with 3 states, we
Yeah.
get the farm, we get the infrastructure, we get everything in that motherfucking state. But as long as we get a border state, bro, I don't want them to fuck us up and put us in like, you know, fucking Idaho and you know the Middle America shits. Like, don't trap us back, nigga. And give us a border state so we can get some border bread.
Uh,
Yeah.
Then it's up
They
to
not
us
giving
to.
up Florida, boy.
Yeah, they probably won't want to. They gotta give up some of that South, man. We kicked up too much in the South, man. The South is who did it all. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, maybe
100.
like a New Mexico or some shit
I
like
don't want
that.
that shit. That shit is barren, man. Fuck out of here. That shit is
Yeah.
barren, and that shit don't have no borders to it. You know what I mean?
It's no
And
water.
there's no borders in New Mexico, like to nothing for real. What they border in
It's at the
Colorado.
bottom, ain't it?
Colorado, they border Colorado to the west. They border Arizona and Texas and all that shit to the south and southwest. And then they got
Nah, New
uh
Mexico got it's something underneath New Mexico is water, right? Because it's
Arizona, Texas.
oh
So
I don't think they hit a border. Maybe the south of the state. But I think the southern coming around the southern border is Louisiana, Texas, Arizona, maybe a tip of Nevada if I'm not mistaken. I could be bugging. And California coming across the bottom border states. But this shit is barren out there, bro. We can't grow nothing. I mean, we got
100.
border shit, but then we pick up other problems with that part of the border on our hands. So if we want some shit, we need them states that got that did us dirty. And if they don't want to pay up, I tell them they're gonna have to face them fucking hurricanes every year because them shits ain't gonna stop, my nigga. Them hurricanes. I think them hurricanes is directly related to fucking what went on in the South. Honestly, that shit is
Mm.
fucking karma. Every year, my nigga, them shits come across the Atlantic Ocean and fuck the South up. Them niggas pay every year for a fucking hurricane in the South. All of the motherfucking states, they get that work. And that shit gonna keep getting that work until they pay that work.
True. It's true, man. Because Florida always gets a lot of hurricanes, and it's most of their people that sort of got all the nice parts in Florida and certain things like that.
Yeah, but look at nowadays though. Nowadays, Florida get it. You know what I'm saying? I lived in Florida 10 years. We used to get it. Shit, hurricane season was weekly shits coming through. Shits would be storms, all kind of shit. But nowadays, shit, I live in North Carolina now. You know, and one came through here. South
Uh,
Carolina got hit. Louisiana got Katrina. Fucking shit. Houston, Texas was affected by the adverse effects of Katrina. So
uh,
I don't know. Give me some land. Take some land. They're not gonna come up off that bread. That shit gonna throw the economy off. They put $1 million in everybody's bank account. Niggas gonna wild out. Saying some TVs gonna be selling crazy Gucci baby diapers and all type of shit gonna be selling.
hmm? What region is Tuskegee in?
Tuskegee, the school is in Alabama.
mhm.
So
Oh, okay.
that's in the south. So I take Alabama.
Southeast.
Alabama touches the water, touches the Gulf and Mobile.
Yeah. What about Arkansas?
I mean, Arkansas is in the south. See what you talking about now will be considered for the second wave of consideration because that is the south. They don't have a border, but they're in the mix. Arkansas, St. Louis, all that shit.
Mm,
Kentucky,
right
all that
above
shit.
Louisiana.
Louisiana, I want that. They got forts. They got money. They got good weather. They got fertile land. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? They owe. That's what everybody went to first. So they say, air quotes, when we came here. For those that came here, they came through Louisiana.
true. Like they had a lot of colonies started up there very early, like the
Where
German, the Dutch. Yeah, German,
Louisiana,
Dutch.
yeah. I thought it was the French primarily, but I know they used Louisiana as a quarantine. So they used to send
Yeah.
everybody there to make sure they was quarantined, and then they would make it on their way up Mississippi, all that shit up the coast.
Okay. And
Yeah.
I think the Yamasees people are like in south somewhere. I think Florida.
The who?
Yamasee,
That
like the
sound from.
Indians,
That
Yamasee.
sound familiar. I know. I know. Florida was the Kissing Me. It was a bunch of them that was in Florida, but I remember Miami's like Dade County, and I looked it up. General
Yeah.
General Dade was a general that slaughtered like crazy natives on some foul shit out there. Heard they was losing. He came back and did some ill shit, and that's when they retreated to South Florida, and they held them off for some years because nobody could get into South Florida because of the rain. It was swampy, it was mosquitoes, it was fucking lizards and all kind of shit. So they
Mm.
kind of held them off for a while, but they did Florida dirty. Florida was the last thing.
Yeah, that's what I think it's called the Florida Wars.
Yeah,
The Florida
Florida was
Wars.
the last stand for
Mm.
Florida because the natives was going crazy down there.
Yeah, and I think that's quite kind of like a stronghold for the brothers down there. Like they hold it on to that quite hard.
Yeah, they held on to that hard, and I think I don't know if y'all remember that movie Rosewood too. Rosewood was like one of those cities.
Oh,
Yeah, Rosewood was like Tulsa. That was like Black Wall Street, but it was one of them
Mm-hmm.
survival, thriving towns in that era. And that shit was in Florida. That shit was up though. I think like Tallahassee, some shit like that, Jacksonville.
Yeah.
damn. What about Indiana,
Indiana's a corn
Detroit?
state. Yeah, they got good. They would have good. I would take that up there too though for a border. Give me Indiana, Chicago, and Ohio. They got the Great Lake or Michigan, Chicago, that whole shit up there. It's fucking cold, man. They be like, I come out that meeting, my people be looking at me like, damn, dog, you couldn't get us nothing no warmer. Yeah, it's cold up there.
Because when you think about it, the amount of people getting 40 acres in a mill, you might as well just get a state of your own.
Yeah, yeah, and let people control it because you brought people here. You brought people here to do some foul shit. Then you just freed people and did some even worse shit. You know what I'm saying? Because that to me, slavery didn't affect everybody. You know what I'm saying? So it really wouldn't
Mm,
be slavery what they paying for. They would be using that money from the slaves to pay for the shit. But slavery, I don't think affected everybody because slavery was everybody wasn't a fucking slave. Everybody black
true.
wasn't a slave. So and everybody white wasn't a slave owner. So I think the
Hmm.
real money got to come from Jim Crow. For Jim Crow, they freed the slaves and made it illegal to be black. So now
Wow.
nobody's going nowhere. Nobody can't get no job. Nobody can't do no grocery shopping. Nobody can't go to no pools, education, swimming, anything. That's why shit set people off. It gave people a 15, 20-year head start.
Yeah,
That's what they paying for. They paying for like 2 generations of holding people back. You know what I mean?
definitely, man.
Jim Crow was fucked up. American apartheid.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
But when you
American.
look at it, well, it's only been really 30 years or 20 years, really, where you could
Yeah,
say that things have sort of been steady and trying to take off.
yeah, yeah, I agree. I agree. I was telling City last night. My mother was born in 1953, and she just turned 65 or whatever. She turned 67. She's up there now in that age bracket now. But
Wow.
shit, man, that's my lifetime. My mom's it was affected by that shit. First graduating class and shit, Black Panthers, all type of shit had to go through. She was worried about fucking with the Black Panthers and getting ahead in that shit more than she was worried about getting in school.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So that shit definitely is our time period right now. My grandmother, these is people that was born 1929 and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Word. Shit, I was born in 76. It was going down in the 70s still. You know what I mean? Then that's when the crack hit. That shit wasn't by chance. We didn't make that shit. So there's a lot of fuckeries. But like you said, though, shit started getting, I don't say better, but shit got different the last 20
yeah,
years.
100. I'll be honest, now, there was kind of like the golden eras for me, for the black community, one could say the 70s going up to the 90s, when all of that drugs that infiltrated the whole thing.
Yeah, drugs and police corruption. That was like the
Hmm.
new, you know what I'm saying? That whole Reagan shit, war on drugs, that was just the new Jim Crow, bro. Word, word. The way it was going down in LA, shit like that. All them people going to jail in LA over them years and shit.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a lot of shooting and shit. Not saying there was no crime going on, but that shit was for, there was a lot of reason behind that shit.
Yeah, all that things like have you heard of the Devil Punch Bowl?
The Devil Punch Bowl?
Yeah.
No, what's that?
I've told them about that before. They didn't believe me, you know.
What is that?
I
Empress, what
think
up?
it's in I think it's in Mississippi somewhere, or can't remember the state is.
There's
But it's
also
like
one in
some
England. You know that? Do
serious.
you know that, Tarek? I'm telling you, Tarek. There's one in England too.
Ross. What in like up north or something? Or
I think it's Surrey. Let me look for it. I'll show you.
oh, is it Somerset maybe?
I'm about to look that shit up right now. You said the Devil's Punch Bowl in Mississippi?
I'm not sure if it's in Mississippi, but it might be in one of those sort of states.
It'd be crazy
Like
if it's the same name.
because I was watching it through like some Hebrew brothers up in St. Louis, and
Wow.
they took a trip down there and they was explaining that place basically.
Oh
They're
yeah, I
saying
see
it
it.
like
I see it right here. It's boom boom boom. Devil Punch Bowl dates back to 1768, the year that John Rocco, I guess that's a French name, map of the area was published. It was 18 years before with a murder of an unknown sailor on Gilbert Hill. Blase blase blah. Natural history. So what the hell is the local legend? Let's see. Oh yeah, it says something about the English Channel here too. Sussex. Let me see. According to one story, the devil came so irritated by all the churches being built in Sussex during the Middle Ages that he decided to dig a channel from the English Channel through the South Downs and flood the area. As he began digging, he threw up huge lumps of earth, each of which became a local landmark, such as Chank Chunkbury Ring, Sisbury Ring, Mount Caburn. Boom. So I guess that's out there where y'all at, the development. I don't know.
or type in the slaves of the Devil's Punch Bowl
Shit.
because it was something where like I think certain people after when slavery was abolished, they kept these people working and they've like had these people in some inhumane places and they all put them in one pit.
Wow. Oh, I think this is it right here. Never forget the Devil's Punch Bowl. 20,000 free slaves died after being locked up and forced in a post-slavery concentration camp. Yeah, see what the fuck I'm saying? They gotta get 4 states now, man.
That's what I said.
Word to mother. See shit like that, man. Damn, there's always been a concentration camp synonymous with the atrocities of the Nazi Germany, but America has its own dirty secrets about the use of concentration camps. These camps were located in Natchez, Mississippi, and were used to corral free slaves during and after the American Civil War. As slaves were being emancipated from the plantations, their route to freedom usually took them to the vicinity of the Union Army forces. Unhappy with them being freed, the army recaptured the slaves and forced them back into labor camps. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. See, they you're not getting no worse than that, man.
Yeah, that's some serious story when I saw that, man. That the brother took like a couple people down there and he showed the area what it was like, the landscape around it. And the guy was saying the people who live around that area look like is it the people that have hills of eyes or something like that? You could see like there was a bit inbred and just weird and sort of thing around that area.
Yeah, that's crazy. But that would also, I mean, a lot of people got reparations over the years, and they're still getting it as we speak. But that would cause a crazy effect of around the world of people going for reparations, and these banks in these big countries will be bankrupted, bro. Because if we get a reparations here, and people start crying for England to give up reparations, it's over. It's over, bro. Because they don't start having to kick up reparations to big countries like India, you know what I'm saying? Big fucking countries in Africa, all across the continent. They're gonna have to start paying and giving people bread. And that's not gonna go down right, man. Like, they're not gonna have that.
No, I thought the same thing because also and I've wondered why I don't know with like reparations why like other people ain't really I don't know like at least joined our petition with it in a sense like that. Or the UN and these type of countries and certain things.
Yeah, they let me see. They have a list of who got reparations.
Oh, what the companies owners.
Yeah, they have no, they have people that have gotten reparations in this country at least that like wow groups too. Word like the Pacific, Pacific Asian, you know what I mean?
Wow,
US Aleuts of Alaska. They had US the people that came to the US from Japan,
wow,
125 people, got $38 million. You know what I'm saying? And then in 1948, Congress issued reparation fund of another 38. It was awarded to each survivor $20,000 in 1990. The U.S. and the Aleuts of Alaska, they got money. They got 12,000 each.
wow.
The North Carolina to eugenics victim, whatever the fuck that is, in 2013, North Carolina became the first state to pay reparations to victims of forced sterilization. Wow. And 10,
Oh, ain't that Tuskegee? That's what it
Nah,
is.
see what I'm saying? They ain't, oh, look, Tuskegee is next, actually. Tuskegee, the victim of the Tuskegee, that was 1932. That was
Oh wow.
399 people. This is 2013, and it's not saying how many people was affected by that. But yeah, Tuskegee was another group. Um, Selling for $10 million. They settled for. Look, Rosewood, we just spoke about Rosewood and shit. Our ancestors is happy. They like, yeah, people keeping our name alive. What's that?
Yeah.
1923, 26 victims. In 1994, the state of Florida issued $2.1 million to be split amongst the massacre survivors. City of Chicago paid the victim of police torture in 2015. That's dope. It's just a short list right here. Yo, get out of here. Get out of here. Move. 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 What's going on? Yeah, so you know what gotta happen though. You just gotta like it's bugged out. It's a lot of fucking lawyers and shit out here that could be doing this shit. You know what I'm saying? But I guess what I'm about to say is probably textbook or caveman shit. But
Hey,
I guess
Todd, it's
motherfucker.
funny you just said that. My dog was just messing with my leg right now, and I just, hey, lay down.
Yeah,
I
man.
said, hey, lay down, and you said, hey, get out the way
Yeah, yeah. It's niggas
at
he
the
in the
same
garbage.
time, like it was my dog.
Yeah. I'll be around my dog or somebody else be with their dog and be near me and they be like, yo, sit down. I turn around and all the dogs in the area is sitting. Yeah, he all in the garbage and shit. Move, man. And we gotta study the system, right? Like as far as how these people got it. What was their complaint? What was their approach?
Right,
What came to the table? I don't give a
right,
fuck who got it. I don't care if it was the United Workers of the Shoelaces Union. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, whoever.
right. But with that angle right there, at least can we see right there? Did they fight for it, or were they given it for those reasons?
Nah, nobody was giving it. I don't think.
Everybody brought up the case.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, right. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking whoever is fighting for it in our situation, they just don't even know how to fight for the case because you got to have a
They know
reason.
how to fight for
Something have to be illegal or something, and you
bro.
got to,
How
you
how
know.
many lawyers do we have in this country? Like black lawyers. Don't they have like a group called 100 black men lawyers or some crazy shit like
I'm
that. Where
sure they do.
yeah, this man like fraternity of lawyers of like, but
Yeah.
that's not on their thing because they think is like we made it doing this, and everybody else is on their own. But everybody else made it too. Everybody on this panel doing their thing. You feel me? But that don't mean like Malcolm X said, your grandfather or my grandfather, so you pay me.
Yeah.
Word.
Because that probably that's the next sort of, I don't know, sort of thing for people to start doing now. You probably have, like you have um, insurance claim lawyers. You're gonna probably have slavery insurance claim lawyers.
Yeah, they have
Oh,
to.
let
They have.
let
They
me
have to
take
set
your
up a whole
case.
system. We bankrupt, man. These two superpowers will go bankrupt, yo. I'm telling you. Here will be for one thing. Over there will be for a whole nother thing. But I know we was talking about this
Nah,
shit the other day. Britain gonna have some fucking like between the two, whew, some fucking karma on their hands.
trust me, these people are rich, man. These people got wealth far beyond our imagination, man.
Yeah, they got that money, but they're not gonna part with that shit.
For them, it's not even really. These people make money, so it's not really. It's just the actual work of actually having them to print this money. Because
But
when
that's
you really when you really look at the finance of it all, if somebody had to pay out, I don't know, say if the government had to pay out $10,000 or pounds, it takes literally like 3 cents or 3 pence to create one note.
yeah, but then when you put that money into circulation, just printing up money, that's the reason why they don't print up money just regularly now. That shit just sets
No,
off.
but could you imagine that you're like say your $100 bill for the government to make one, it's only like 5 cents.
Yeah.
So these
Mhm.
people got money, man. It's not like they have to sell something to somebody else, so they have to pay you. You know what I mean?
But they got to think about the after effects, though, bro. Right? Because now if they give everybody, I don't know what let me see something. Black population in America is, damn, where is it? They paid everybody a certain amount of bread. That's gonna make the system. That's gonna set the whole shit off, man. Like it's gonna tip the
Nah,
tables in a way where it's gonna fucking offset inflation, man. That's why
no,
you're
it's
not
gonna be
gonna. That's why
light
they wouldn't
tip.
be able to. They could do that. You're right. In seconds, they could do it. But to be able to do that, man, shit. Let me see something, man.
Trust me, it'd
27%.
be light to their pocket.
Oh wait, it's nah. But see, but you gotta remember. You gotta think about it like this. You saying two different things: light to their pocket or print it up. Because for me, if I owe you bread,
Hmm.
I can't go to city house and start, city, help me trace out some money, you know what I'm saying, for this dude. You want the money that I owe you out my pocket, bro. I want the money from the fucking bank. I don't want the printed shit. Don't start printing new money and now everybody still got their millions. Now I want somebody has to the whole purpose of it is for people to suffer, but not everybody's supposed to suffer for that. The
No, but
institutions should suffer. So if they print up money, that's the easy way out. That's the easy
all
way out.
right, yeah,
You understand what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like it's different if you give me a couple of cars from your car dealership than if Ford go make me some cars. You know what I'm saying? Like I want you to give me the cars from your dealership. Some shit is gonna hurt the dealership. Them shit is in the bank right now. Like give me those. Cause you go just making up fucking cars. Now it's congestion on the road because we ain't account for all them fucking cars. You know what I'm saying? Give me that shit right
Like,
out your fucking pocket. Then I want to hear a story about that shit, and then 4 days later about four banks going down, two royal banks, and you know what I'm saying, and two international fucking American banks went the fuck down because you know what I'm saying. It just couldn't happen and shit.
but this is what I'm saying. Well, like these things, they don't touch people. Like especially your government. Think about it. It's General Motors.
Hmm.
That's basically backed by the government, so they can give everybody a new car. It's not a problem. Would it be?
You think they backed by the government?
Of course, did they not get a payout to stay up?
Yeah, I mean, but the post office is backed by the government, and they don't make a fucking dime. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, like backed by them. What the fuck is backed by the government even? What does that
Well,
even
basically,
worth?
when GM Motors went into debt, basically with all of this thing, what happened?
I
GM
mean, I get.
Motors GM Motors basically represents American car industry. So if GM goes under, there's no more American car industry. So it's
But
literally the government.
I guess when you say you got somebody that's a snake or a rat or just fucking Pop Tart soft got your back, you know what I'm saying? That shit don't really mean much because now you saying they got their back, but they still went down. So
Yeah,
they down right now.
because everybody knows Japanese cars and foreign cars are selling at the moment, and it's the way how they build some of these GM Motors. That's why they're not
Man,
really.
it's the whole fucking car. We was talking about that shit on here yesterday. Like we was talking about pickup trucks. I think Gully was talking about something with pickup trucks. I always say gotta have an American pickup truck. That's like the last thing we still do, like top dog shit. But the fucking buttons in a F-150, this shit be looking like cheap as fuck inside. I hate the way they make the inside of American pickup trucks. God damn, the
No, no,
Tundra.
but how many of them? How many of them engines actually last?
Nah, I think the engines last though, bro. Like the Ford,
Their
they got
engines
the
last.
yeah.
What, over 200 miles?
Hell yeah. I'm in North Carolina, bro. I be seeing the old dirty pickup truck, the 1972 shit with the old man smoking Marlboro Reds in the front seat and shit, man. Like they be having some Ford is definitely is built Ford tough. They be having cheap, to me, they be cheap interior parts, cheap buttons and knobs, but Ford is built Ford tough. They ain't lying with that shit. Work trucks. These motherfuckers be having these trucks out here for years, man. And there's like a big ass Ford plant. I know out here specifically, there's a Ford plant that dates back to like if there was a Ford that year, they got the part or get the part, manufacture the part there. But we went down, like you
They're not.
said, though. The other cars are doing everything better. Like you could get a fucking pickup truck. I just keep saying pickup truck because that's what we known for. Like, you know what I'm saying? But we
Yeah.
losing that race because, like you said, other countries is giving you Toyota is giving you some shit that's like a pickup truck, but with a Lexus interior. You feel me?
No,
Who's
but
choosing?
the engine is it's a whole different type of quality of engine you get from the Japanese now. The Japanese
Yeah,
engines now they're built to last nearly everything.
yeah, that shit gonna fuck us up. I'm also I'm also looking at this map right here. It says majority of uh the African population in America is in the South, coming from Virginia down to Florida, going over to eastern Texas, coming up to Arkansas, Tennessee, the rest of and then California and southern Nevada.
Yeah, but that's the Trader Tears as well, isn't it? So
Yeah, yeah. So it's still like that. So they can come up off one of them states. They ain't even got to go nowhere. It's 47 million
yeah,
people though.
I
47
think there's a
million.
lot of land, man. There's a lot to cover, man.
47 million is a lot of people to cover. That's why I figured 3 states. You know what I'm saying? You figure you're looking at, you know, shit, 15 million or so each state. 4 states to put us at like 12 million a state.
Yeah, but definitely they need to get some sort of how can I say a percentage in a lot of these companies that benefited as well of the slave trade.
So let me ask y'all this though. So all right, cool. We covered. I don't know what y'all talking about before I got on, but we covered American reparations right now. What about like the West Indies? When you start dividing up the whole West Indies and shit, right? Like
Yeah,
like that. Like who's responsible for that? Like when they do that. So now Jamaica is independent now, but with they still have to go back to what I'm saying, to the crown for their shit. I know Barbados is still under British rule.
Yeah.
I know. I'm not sure about
Montserrat. Montserrat.
Montserrat is still under shit. Ain't one of the Virgin Islands? It's like U.S. Virgin Islands.
Yeah.
Then they got the British Virgin Islands. I know France got half of Saint Martin,
Bro.
and the Dutch is the other half of Saint Martin. Haiti. Haiti is still paying fucking. How Haiti still paying France? That shit don't make no sense.
Yeah.
And France have to give that back with like 20% interest on top of that shit. 50% interest or somewhere else.
Definitely, man. That is wild.
Yeah, that shit would turn the fuck. That's why they wouldn't want that shit happening like that. Cause that shit would turn this whole shit upside down, bro. Everybody would start having their hands out. Shit, South Africa would come forward. So, cause South Africa's coming for somebody's ass and shit. Word.
Yeah, because with the West Indies, um, basically it's just companies upon different companies. So like you have like the sugar plantation, a lot of people that make sweets or candies and certain things like that. Like a lot of their ancestors that after they made that money, they invested in different companies and sort of things. And also a lot of these people have become big landowners, like in England, France, and all these type of places. So I think that's really where the money trail is for the West Indies and certain islands. But also another instrumental part as well is where some of these people called Maroons or Arawaks or indigenous people or Indians or Negroes. Some of them have treaties with different countries who was um, in domain of them or who they made contracts with. So certain things are a bit crossed over in a sense. That's everybody did. Oh, I think your volume's down.
Oh yeah, there you go. You said?
Yeah, I was saying basically with the Caribbean and certain countries, or like the Maroons or the free slaves, some of them had like treaties with um, different people of power at the time, and
Mm-hmm.
some of their treaties stand today. So that's another sort of things people have to get around.
Yeah, you're right. I think they're supposed to honor all those treaties, right? Like I think it's peace and friendship
Yeah,
treaty.
Maroon Treaty.
Let me see. Treaty of Peace and Friendship. I know this was from Morocco, presents to
Oh
all
yeah,
people.
yeah, yeah. The more
Yeah, United States of America, people. Yeah, it's the Emperor treaty sealed by the Emperor of Morocco. I forgot what it was saying though. It has something to do with France. Let me see. What's the one you talking about?
like there's a Maroon Treaty in Jamaica with the Maroons, and certain other Maroons got treaties like with the Dutch, some with the French, some with the Spanish. So for
Mm-hmm.
certain people in the islands are going to be very yeah, it's going to be very peculiar.
Hmm.
But another interesting part, what I thought might be interesting, and I was thinking, why don't white people claim reparations?
You said play in it?
Why don't white people claim reparations?
I don't think I don't think white people per se should pay reparations for the simple fact of people My mother is definitely living today. I gave an example, and she was an example of the victim end of certain stuff, right? But that doesn't mean that everybody that's her exact age had an exact hand in doing it. You feel me? They might have had a hand in benefiting from it, but not necessarily like they was doing something in particular to her. You understand? But the system as a whole did it. So the system as a whole should pay.
No, what I'm saying also there was a lot of white people that were sent to the states to work as slaves, and a lot of them were actual slaves and things like that. But I just wonder why they don't actually bring that history up, and why don't they look to actually claim some sort of reparations or get on the same sort of I don't know narrative with certain black people.
Yeah, that would be a difficult one, man. That's like, I mean, for lack of a better example, that's like robbing the bank and then trying to rob everybody in the fucking bank. Like, you might as well just hit this bank, man, get the fuck out of here before we fuck around. We patting people pockets and shit now and all that. Somebody will put the alarm. Now we in a big thing. Let's get this man stick and move. Let's get these four states to get out of here, man.
Yeah, because when you do check the records of certain slave voyages and the people that arrived as slaves, I think there's even one, I forgot what the year was, maybe 1611, 1690. It shows you where there's a lot of white people that actually was classified as slaves. Because also in Barbados, they used to send their criminals there and certain things like that. I think even in probably the Carolinas as well, a lot of Europe used to send their criminals there.
Yeah, they were shipping criminals all over. I know Belize was said to be like a place that they sent a lot of criminals from Jamaica, and that's why Belizeans and Jamaicans share similar dialect and different things like that. Because that shit was all jail. They said at one point.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, because a lot of them places they actually use like to take like the darker people off the island. Like
I
take
mean,
for instance, I don't know, have you ever heard of the Garifuna people?
the who?
Garifuna?
Nah,
Well,
looking up.
basically these people were on like islands on the Lesser Antilles, and when the British conquered the islands in the 18th century, they moved these people from their island to what's it called? Honduras.
But I was Saint Vincent. It says
Yeah. St. Vincent. Yeah, that's
Saint
it.
Vincent, who were exiled to Honduran coast in the 18th century and subsequently moved to Belize. The Garafuan, the Garafuan mainly live on the coast, but are very present in the towns and the villages and shit. Wow.
Yeah, and these people they actually speak an Arawak language. So they actually speak the indigenous Caribbean language.
Hmm. That's crazy, man. So many different like small pockets of people, man, all over. I never even heard of these people.
Yeah, they're also called like the Caribs. They're the ones they say they're cannibals and certain things like that. But like, yeah, you have dark Caribs, you have light skinned Caribs, and all sorts of Caribs. But the original people that Columbus said he met in the Caribbean were people of that sort of color and shade.
It's funny.
But but people keep putting on these people saying, oh, they're African, they're African, and they literally speak a Arab like a Arawak language, an indigenous American language, and they do everything in the culture. But just because of their appearance, they just classify them as African Caribbean.
But what you said a good point though. It was at times it was like some white slaves in there too. You know what I mean? And that's key because like slavery was part of the culture. So and probably still is in most places. You know what I mean? But in a lot of places, I should say. But um, that's not really the problem, and that's not where reparations is coming from. Just because of slavery per se. You know what I mean? Like you can't do it.
Yeah,
It was
real.
the money. It was the money made off of slavery. It was the empire built off of slavery. Is really it was people enslaved all over the world. Like what I'm saying, the weak kneel to the strong kneel to the wise. So like, it been like that since the beginning of time. So you always gonna have you know upper and lower classes and shit like that. But that was a time period. It was fucked up, man. Word.
Yeah, it's very weird, man. Like, because you get all these Central American countries where our brothers and sisters are, and
Stop.
I don't know how they would feel about reparations in a sense like that. And I don't think we really get to hear their point of view of reparations. Some of our brothers in the Latin American community.
My fucking dog, man, chews through a fucking leash every week, yo.
Have you heard much from the Latin community what they think on reparations?
The community in England.
No, Latin community.
Um, nah, I haven't heard of any Latin community getting it. But I got a thing with that though, because the Latin communities they deal with slavery and their oppressors differently. Embrace their oppressors. They never really. They always kind of want to do good for their oppressors, and it's not a disrespect. I'm not trying to disrespect nobody or nothing like that, but
Mm.
most of those countries settle a little differently than other people settle. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's because of where the Spaniards was treating people. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, what it was from, but it's always a little different. You know what I'm saying? You look at Haiti and Dominican Republic. You know what I'm saying? You look at a lot of different places, and it's always,
Yeah,
the conquistadors. I don't know what they was doing. They was doing something different. I don't know, but it was motherfuckers is like fuck it, man. We just speak Spanish. We fucking Latin or whatever.
yeah, because a lot of like the Spanish conquest, they were just mostly looking for gold. They weren't really looking to set up any really
Exactly.
plantations like that.
Exactly.
But the wickedness part come with the Spanish is where they was working basically for their what they call it, the Catholic Church. And yeah, the church has got a lot to answer for as well.
Yeah, I was to
Saying
say, as
that.
soon as you said that, I just thought about that because they had a lot to do with it. They came with gold and they came with church. So, yeah, that's a whole
Yeah,
nother
that's
thing. Like,
yeah. I don't think we ever really look into that because
where's my wallet? Let me take that one. I mean, you don't have. What would you, right?
yeah, I think the church will have to pay quite a big sum of money because
Yo, the church should pay a fucking. Well, you know what? That's their business, though. Y'all put this shit together and get these shit. Y'all ante up. You know what I mean? It's what I said. 47 million people. Where's my calculator? Hold on. That's 47 million people, right? 47 zero, 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 zero. Just figure about each. Nah, see what I'm saying? 50,000. Nah. Hold on, I'm trying to find a number that they can come up with, but they gotta come up with their own fucking number. I ain't about to sit here and do this calculation. Yeah, they can come up with their own fucking number. They always
Dude, we're
shit.
doing their work for them.
Yeah,
Like
man. I'm sitting here on
this is
my
probably
second problem here. Yeah, nah, they got that.
this is probably the last job we have to do for them.
Yeah, the last fucking job, yo. I mean, yo, if you put it like that, man, I'm gonna go get my glasses, get my pen and my paper. If that's the only last job I gotta do, shit.
Oh, God. Hey, you lot work out your reparations.
Yo, where you from? Where your family from?
Jamaica and St. Lucia.
Jamaica and St. Lucia. Okay. Yeah, St. Lucia got a St. Lucia got a nice little like a nice little meal. They be wrapping fish up in leaves and shit like that in St. Lucia.
Yeah,
Yeah, St. Lucia. I fucks with St. Lucia.
yeah. They love what they call it, country music and things like that in St. Lucia.
And St. Lucia, they like country music?
Yeah, man, they love that. They got that playing 24 hours on their local radio, national radio.
Hmm. St. Lucia was what? Under Britain?
Yeah, it's under Britain, and but we speak Creole French because there's been so many times like it's been swapped.
Really?
Yeah, it's been
Like a
swapped.
like a
Like,
like a kind of like a Haitian Creole?
yeah, yeah. But our one's a bit more,
French.
one could say Africanized, but very, one could say like more patois. Like we say more African or more deeper, like, or yeah, more of a patois. Like the Haitians probably have a better pronunciation of words.
Mm. Yeah, Haitians, they had them in their fucking backyard. Let me see something. Let me look at this shit here. I have to pull up a map of um yeah, man. Yo, let me ask you this then. So would you rather take for reparations, how I was saying, for us to get 3 states and this and that, would you rather 3 or 4 states? Or maybe like where you at right now? I don't know if y'all call y'all shit states or towns or what y'all say over there.
Districts.
Districts. Would you take a couple of districts? Or would you rather a whole fucking island? Like a St.
Wow.
Lucia or Jamaica or Haiti or you know what I mean?
Wow. True say, as you put it like that, it makes me think. Mm, I'm not too sure now saying that.
I mean, I guess it has its, it has its ups and its downs. Cause half of me would feel like, damn, that motherfucker's trying to put me off on this motherfucking island and shit. You know what I'm saying? But then, I don't know, man. I'm looking at the map right now. Cuba's a big motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yo, shut the fuck up. She's gone. She left. That's it. This motherfucker about to start barking. Yeah. See, my family's from Barbados. Um,
Okay, okay.
yeah,
Yeah, man.
that's right next to St.
It's all
Lucia.
St. Lucia a bit, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's
'Cause
all
I
right
think the
there.
plane stops off there.
Yeah, yeah. I grew up with some people from
Oh yeah,
St.
so
Lucia.
so so, so you're a Carib as well. You got Carib ancestry as well, or what?
Yep, yep, yep.
Yeah, man.
My peoples came through to America through by way of Panama and shit. So I got a lot of like my relatives from Barbados.
Oh,
They all
yeah,
speak.
same man.
Yeah, they all speak Spanish. So but they're Bayesian, and it's ill because I was talking to my grandmother recently, and she was telling me about people that somehow came from Panama to Nova Scotia to the U.S.
Yeah.
Right? I think that shit is kind of
Hmm.
bugged out when you think about it because how you come through the whole Caribbean. You know what I'm saying? You come up through the whole joint, through Panama, Central America, the whole shit, skip over the whole South, go to Nova Scotia, and then come back down and settle in New York and shit. Like eventually,
Yeah, because
yo,
they were setting up like colonies up in Nova Scotia. So there's even a story with like the Maroons from Trelawney, where basically they were told by the British that it was going to be sent to Africa, Sierra Leone, but the
Mm.
British kidnapped them and actually took them to Nova Scotia. And like a lot of like rebellious slaves and certain things were sent to like Nova Scotia and these type of places. And these Jamaican Maroons, somehow or the other, they got a boat and sailed from Nova Scotia to Sierra Leone, stayed in Sierra Leone for a little while, then from Sierra Leone went all the way back to Jamaica.
Mm.
See, Taj, you see what I said about Oak Island? That's about Nova Scotia. That's why I keep saying you need to watch The Curse of Oak Island.
Of Oak Island, right, right.
Ain't that where what's his name? Blackbeard, the pirate, I think.
Pirate. That was
When Oak Island is meant to be treasure there, but they don't know what because they found a money pit there. And as they were digging, I'm not going to go into a whole long story, but as they were digging, they come across a stone, and when they lifted the stone up, booby traps opened and flooded out the money pit, and yeah, so they're just trying to figure out what the hell's going on in it, because obviously there's been
Yeah,
some sort of man-made structure or obviously hiding something in it. They're even saying about maybe King Solomon's stuff, the stuff that got stolen from his temple, like the Ark of the Covenant and stuff like that. They even saying that might be there. There's loads of stories behind it, innit?
yeah. Blackbeard the pirate was supposed to be storing certain things on the island, certain things like that. I think I'm not too sure.
They even talk about the Knights
Knights
Mm.
Templar
Templar.
going there. Yeah,
Why that
apparently
sound
Knights
familiar?
Templar going through there.
What's the Knights
Um,
Templar again?
it's like the Freemasons, isn't it? Basically,
Uh,
Yeah, it's like the Christian army or the Catholic
yeah.
army.
And then also they're saying about the British Army going through there at some point. But so there's loads of stuff, loads of stuff.
Yeah, yeah. They took a lot of people there as well, like as prisoners and all sorts. So even that place has to be counted as something as well, Nova Scotia.
I think we owe Puerto Rico a lot of money too. Like Puerto Rico is
Yeah,
like they trying to do Puerto Rico. They're trying to make Puerto Rico a state right now. I don't even know how I really feel about that. Like they need to free them people. You know what I'm saying? Give them people all you told them you was going to give them. We made a bunch of promises to Puerto Rico.
cause the thing now is it's like once you learn about all the wars and who owns certain islands, it's like once I think certain people lose wars, it's like they had to give up certain islands. So like maybe I don't know how the US actually got Puerto Rico,
They got Puerto
or
Rico
maybe
through a slimy. It was a slimy deal.
all right.
It
See,
was strategic. It was one. They wanted to be strategic and wanted to set up shop there. First, of course, they conquered it, but the deal was like, oh no, y'all good. Like you know what I'm saying? We're gonna take care of y'all type shit. Whereas like the Dominican Republic was like, nah, give us our bread, let us do us type shit.
mm,
That shit ain't never been the same. We bombed them up. Vieques, the island off of Puerto Rico, we tore that shit up
wow,
with testing. We did a lot of testing for the Navy and missiles. That shit is a fucking missile mine. They have like, the coral reefs is full with missile heads and shit like that, shell casings and shit like that.
serious,
Yeah, man. Puerto Rico is bad with that shit, man. The whole waters
wow.
around Puerto Rico is shark infested with missiles and sunken ships. It was like war games out there for this shit. And then we never really hold them down like that. Until okay, we'll give you, let's just say we give you 50 billion a year. Come on, I'm giving them like 2 million. Like, all right, we got y'all next year. Don't worry about it, little buddy.
That is
And now they
disgusting,
fucked
man.
up, and it's like we don't even want them. Now you got the liability. So now we don't even want them. So now we can just make them a state. Like, y'all don't make us a fucking state now after all of this shit. Like, mom, just free us, give us the fucking money you said you was gonna give us, and you be giving the fucking Israel. They give the money to Israel every fucking year.
Mm,
So,
yeah,
like you
I don't
said,
think
they
the
got the money,
Japanese.
and they don't even print the money for Israel. They give the money to Israel out the fucking bank. That's why I say I want the money out the fucking bank. They could do one of them Hollywood deals and give us, 2 billion over 10 years and shit. Don't print it up. I want the money out the bank and shit. I'll wait. Word.
Mm.
Motherfuckers think they slick.
Yeah, and it's so much, man. It's so much. Because even the Native Americans, they've got well, some of them already got in it, really, when you think about it. Or they had some sort of deal already.
You said the Native Americans?
Yeah.
Which ones here?
Yeah, so some of them really got some sort of reparations or some sort
Nah, them
of
niggas they got done dirty, bro. Nobody got nothing, bro. Them niggas got casinos, man. Them niggas got casinos. Niggas got two, three bum ass casinos, and then they got a couple of reservations where they got a little piece of the whole fucking country. The whole continent was theirs. They got like fucking Sioux Falls, you South Dakota and shit like that. They got a couple of
wow,
100 acres and shit like that. And then they can't step foot off of that shit. You know what I mean? So now on here, you get treated like a king. No tax on your cigarettes. Y'all can sell this and do that and But y'all stay right here and shit. And this shit that we call America ain't got nothing to do with y'all.
wow.
Yeah, that shit crazy, man. That shit's crazy. And it's too little of them to even fight.
And that's what I was about to say. That it's not only us that's separated like that. You know what I mean? Because if they come together as a collective, I think they would have got some sort of something better, maybe.
Cause it's not about the races and shit like that. I always say that. It's about the powers that be. You understand? It just so happens the power that be a certain face of a certain race kind of thing, but it's not really a race thing. Because back in the days, that's why I think the slavery story was so important because, like, I don't think slavery was the way they say it was here, right? We was here first. We was here already with the Native Americans. We was living. We was doing our thing. You know what I'm saying? We was warmongers and shit. We traveled the seven seas. We did all that shit, right? So the story really don't make sense to me personally. You want to tell me we did all that? We was warriors, Zulus, this whole shit, Ashantis, all these different tribes, all these different people got duped into coming over here on a fucking boat and laid down in the bottom of this shit. You understand? With X amount of people with primitive fucking weapons telling us to get down or lay down. We got in the boat. Then when they took the chains off, we started singing and reading the fucking Bible and fucking working in the fields and doing this and doing that. I don't know, man. That shit sound real convenient because that makes it sound like every white person was a slave master and I know it was poor white people. That's where the term redneck comes from. Every white person wasn't doing good. You know what I'm saying? Like the term redneck comes
Yeah,
from the ones that was working in the fields and shit. So now it's convenient, but the thing was though, if you was I own some slaves, I got a plantation, right? You might not have a plantation, but you my truck driver. You the dude that gets my goods and services to the coast now. So you thrive off of me making money from my 10 slaves. But that don't mean all of us was fucking slave masters. You understand? So I don't know, man. They owe, but they owe for different shit. They don't really owe for that shit. 'Cause I don't think that we was fucking all
yeah,
slaves, man. Not all of us, because it was Asian slaves out west in Cali digging for gold. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of fucking slaves of different nationalities and different pockets, but it was a lot of fucking poor white people too. A lot of poor white people. I mean, if they stayed poor, that was on them. I feel like everybody came up now once they freed the slaves and they made Jim Crow. Because once they freed the slaves, now all of them was poor, 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 and they had to have a way to make the money. That's when they like, all right, fuck it, free them niggas, make jails, put them in the jails. Everybody become correction officers. Everybody become food cooks and have food businesses that just supply the jail the same way we supplied the plantation. And then that's when the come up
hmm,
happened. To me, the come up happened after that shit.
yeah. No, 100%. Because they're not giving us the true story, man. Because when we were watching Roots and these certain things, they're giving us certain clues. Like you can tell certain people were like a lower class. Somehow the other certain people have got themselves out of slavery
Yeah,
and these
he
type of things.
he who wins the war writes the history though. So like you said, these wars were won in these little places, and I get that. I'm for that. To the victor goes the spoils. You know what I'm saying? So I get that. I get that. That's always gonna be the way of the land. If I punch you in your face, your wallet is mine. You know what I mean? I get that. But to all the other fuckeries that happens afterwards, man, it's crazy. And especially with these type of places. I'm looking at this fucking map right now.
Mm.
In Dominica, St. Vincent, these shits is little spots, bro. Like these shits ain't
Oh, is
these,
it?
yeah, these shits ain't no places of like Jamaica got a little size to it. Hispaniola got a little size to it. Cuba got some size to it. Other than that, in Puerto Rico, all them other shits is like crumbs, yo. So that's some bully shit, yo. Give me that. Let it
No,
go.
but the thing with the thing with things with that sort of terrain, what made it kind of alright for the people of that land, like it was very mountainous regions, because like along from say Montserrat all the way going down to I think even Grenada and then places. They basically it's called the volcano belt. So we literally got loads of volcanoes going up along these islands, and so like the region is or the terrain is very mountainous. So you'll be able like to war on certain playing fields if you know the land well. But the soil around that area is very overly fertile because of the volcano, the natural hot and cold water in certain climates there.
I wonder what they I wonder what's the primary crop there.
Um,
Montserrat crops. I put Montserrat crops. These motherfuckers show me a Montserrat woman in a crop top shirt.
well,
I'm like, why the fuck they showing me these titties? British overseas territories, a small industry, heavily influenced by the volcanic activities of the Souferi Hills. Well, of course, sugar and tobacco.
yeah, sugar, yeah, and what they call it, rum and all that type of thing.
Yeah, that's subsequent from the sugar.
Yeah.
See, like places like this, yo. I don't know. Maybe I got a fantasy imagination shit. I just want to go someplace like this and just get lost, bro. And just have like, yo, just have unlimited papaya. Never wear a shirt again. Never wear shoes again. You know what I'm saying? Fish, fruit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Damn,
no,
yo.
true that. And this is the thing when these people came to these types of lands, they literally thought it was heaven. You know what I mean? Like Europe was like dying of famine and all these type of things. They came to the Americas, they got the potato, and a lot of the American products has made the world's diet today.
Wait, wait, hold on 1 second. Shit.
Earlier this year, I could do 100 push-ups like it wasn't shit. The other day, I got down on the carpet. I could push myself up. I could will myself to do anything. I couldn't get up off the carpet. But I'm still CT fighting. I refuse to believe that I can't do one push-up. I'm not expecting to see the new part and just go right back to killing it every gym. You got this. I know it's going to be a fight. I know it's going to be a struggle. I am prepared because I know what it is to start from the bottom, to start all over again. Loads of schools and stuff in England give them. Yeah, but you gotta help me. You gotta get to certain grade, right? Yeah, but that's a standard. Like, for me, I don't even know. Like, your kids should be making the grades, and at the end of the day, for me, your grades is the standard. I was brought up in a household like that as well. Like, you need to be having grades. Your ass will be getting fucking what if you don't have it, if you're not making the grades. It has to be. My daughter's in top set everything. Like, she's always been like that. Always. Since she's been. But you know what though? It's different from black boys and black girls, man. Black boys, like. No, they have to. They have to. They have to. When they get to high school, that's when you start fucking up for black boys. That's all I know. Like, in middle school, you're good, but when you get to fucking year 7, year 6, year 7, like, but girls, I think you guys are little right in that nonsense, man. I know, it's hard for everybody. Well, I have grades. It has to be. Grades, it has to be. Like a weekend and shit. When you speak of like our house, what sex are you in? You know, it's about the grades, man. You've got to be making good grades. That has to be. I understand it too. Hustle. This is so bad. Why are you back? No, Yeah, bro.
Man, who's still there?
You out?
Yo,
Yo, you out? I need to get off this anyway.
yeah.
Shit, sitting here
I'm
idle.
about to close this out. I'm trying to see. My ass don't fell asleep on the shit.
All right, I'm gonna holler at you.
Stop this live.